Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Let's talk about Blue Lock season two. Now that the finale happened, we got two episodes in the for the last finale, so that was really cool to kind of get through both of them. Now we're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna talk about the things that I like. We're gonna talk about the issues in season two because there was plenty, specifically the animation, what the internet loves to call PNG lock. But I think overall a satisfying season. I think this is one of the shows that I'm in it for the story, and the animation helps you get there. The animation is something that really adds a second level because otherwise you could just read the manga, right? You don't need to if you want to just read the story, you can just read the manga. But the animation does add a certain level to the visuals, the voice performances, of course. They add just the drama and everything that you want. And it heightens the experience, which is why, as much as I love the manga, like I really want to make sure that the the anime continues because I want to know more of it. I want to learn more about it. I want to explore more of this world. So the season is kind of broken up into two pieces. We know that Blue Locks has to face Japan, led by Itoshi, right? The U20 team from Japan. And, as a big fan of soccer myself, I just love how heightened the drama is here. I love watching specific scenes over and over, specific, the internet, TikTok is very good about like clipping out some of the better parts, like specifically the goals, right? But the first part of this is broken up. The first four episodes, we kind of get the tryouts. Like there's more than 11 players in the team of Blue Lock, of course, and we need to figure out. Okay, we have two star players. How's the team going to be broken up? How are they going to be composed? Now, of course, we know that Rin and Sato, the top two players, are not very compatible. So, how will Ego figure that out? How will he compose a team? And that's what the first four episodes are all about. The intrigue of that. I think we get to see a really fun exploration of everyone's abilities. Well, we introduced some new characters that we hadn't really played with in the first season because they were in different pods, they were in different teams overall. So that's really fun. But the meat of this is really when we get to the actual game. The game takes 10 episodes, which is all. It's really not even enough. I wish the game had been longer. Not like really, there was a lot more room to explore, a lot more things to talk about. Um, but it's really cool to see the game happen. Like overall, like over the course of these 10 episodes, we get to explore the game. We get to explore a little bit. We get to know the Japan players as well. We get to explore the sibling relationship rivalry that it has developed, and that kind of is the full driver for these brothers, that they want to be the best, but their relationship is so fractured and is so messed up. Um, and that's really all about it. Like all the characters are so likable here. Like whether it's like the villain, like the devil that's trying to steal the goals, whether it's Isagi, that we're trying to see him become the best. He's kind of been our from the beginning. But you have Negi, you have Bachira, like you have these really cool characters. You have Rail, who's in a redemptive arc. So I think because these characters are so likable, it really kind of keeps it going, and it also leads to the disappointment when the animation doesn't match the level of everything else, right? I think the story is very well told. I think the voice performances, which I listened to the full, I watched this all in Japanese, with subtitles. So like the original voice performances are fantastic. It's actually kind of jarring to hear the dub, because this is one anime that I've watched mostly in in the original language. Um, but yeah, and then of course the twists and turns of like Shido is going to play over for the Japan team because that's the stipulation that they've set up. Because he can't get along with the top with Rin. So yeah, all those little details are so much fun, and you love to see the evolution of these players. You get a little bit of their background. You get to meet the captain of the Japan team, which is very cool dude with two different color eyes because why not? And his desire of how much all these people love playing soccer, and what they're willing to do to make sure that they are the best at what they're trying to do. And overall, also that when you're a kid, I think, and you start playing soccer, everybody wants to score a goal. Everybody wants to be the striker, which I think is the foundation. Like just that innate desire of like being the one that scores. It's probably just the full premise of this. But then sometimes they end up in different positions. Uh, I really love how they explain away in a team of all strikers. How can you put a team together where you'll need defenders, midfielders, everything, and a goalie. Gagamaru as the goalie is great. I love it. Gagamaru is such a fun character. Um, and yeah, just every time that you think, there are 7 goals total in throughout the game, and they're all each and every one of them is fantastic. I love seeing the Blue Lock team win over the Japan crowd because obviously nobody knows what Blue Lock is, right? People like we as the viewers know, but nobody knows what Blue Lock is. Um, so seeing them win over Negi introducing himself to the Japanese crowd with a beautiful goal to begin with, which is cool because I love that they demonstrate a skill here. Every time they do a skill on Blue Lock, the internet goes wild trying to figure out if that's something that can be really done. And there's a lot of people that are very good at playing soccer, very good at dribbling, very good at doing some of the tricks. So it's just I love to see it how this art inspires people to try it out in real life, because these are real overall. These are exaggerated, but these are all real moves. Um, Now, I grew up watching soccer in Spanish, so I don't know the. It's always interesting to see what they are called in English or the translation to English. Um, but yeah, I just really love every single goal was a beautiful composition of storytelling. Some of the defending was really cool as well because the Japan team has a very strong. They have the wall, right, so they have a very cool set of 4 defenders, which is their backbone. Seeing their star player be taken down a peg and then have to fight his way back up. So even though we just met the Japan team, I also really like those characters, and that's kind of what happens with these sports anime, like, which is my favorite thing, that I end up rooting for both teams and all the characters. Same thing with Haikyuu, the volleyball anime. For those that haven't seen it, every time I watch them play a game, like you just kind of like everybody that's playing because what you like is how good they are at the actual game. But yeah, we get to see the characters go into the state of flow. We get to see the characters finally face each other. We get to see some substitutions because it is a full game, which makes sense that they would have substitutions. Um, and we get to see these players just reach the next plateau, which is really fun. Now, once again, I don't want to dwell too much on the animation, but I will admit forefront that there were times where I was like, what is happening? Like, sometimes I feel like people are too critical of animation, but this is not one of those cases. I think this is one of the cases where people had certain expectation based on the previous work, and then of course, I think I don't mind them using CG animation um, to kind of, I guess, save budget. I don't know, as a kind of a crutch, as kind of a filler a little bit. But then if you're gonna do that, make sure that the other stuff is really great. Now, I also really think that there are certain people that they want everything fully animated. I don't mind when there's a little bit of like the extra flair of like, they're like if a player's running and it's just kind of them standing still, but you see the all the flair behind them or their flow, their energy, whatever you want to call it, that has its own purpose. That has an effect. I love seeing Isagi put the puzzle pieces together. I love the idea of the puzzle as imagery in this show. But there were some places where like you just cannot defend his animation. But when it worked really well. And for the most part, in those goals, in those big plays, that's where they really did it. I don't think that you will ever top Bachira in season one dribbling all the way through by himself. That was just probably some of the best stuff that's happened. But there's some really cool stuff here. Baro has a really good moment. I love the character of Baro, how selfish he plays soccer and how much that connects with like the idea of him trying to devour Isagi. and the rivalry and all these people just can't, like these players pushing themselves to the next level, whether they want to admit it or not. So yeah, overall, I really enjoy the season. I completely get if there's one takeaway from this is that this season is not far from perfect, but the things that I was looking for it on it really impressed me, and I can look past. But I hope that they do learn a lesson that they should spend a little bit more time on animation, because it is worth it. It's worth it to enhance the experience. And like I said, I think most of the people on the internet that are upset about the animation are truly upset because they love this property and this show, and they have certain expectations for it. There are certain people that they'll be upset no matter what, and that's not the group of people I'm referring to. But yeah, I really I love Blue Lock. So yeah, this is just another thing that we're we're gonna see and move forward, and I can't wait for it. I think hopefully we get another little movie in between seasons. I think the Negi origin movie was really fun. Even though it was a little bit of a retelling of season one, just from the point of view of Negi, but we did get some new stuff, and that was really fun. Um, maybe they should do one about one of the characters that is teased to return in the second and the next season. They also leave a few teasers, a few crumbles that I think are for the manga readers. That they're like, you remember this thing from the manga? It's coming, like it's finally coming. And then for everyone else, it's just like, well, we don't know who this character is, but they look cool, or we have this big return, but we don't know how it's gonna happen or how it's gonna play out. So yeah, very excited to see how this moves forward. I would love like I said, I would love a movie in between. Um, and yeah, I might go back and read the manga to get the flow of the game here, to see how that plays out. Because there's some stuff that very stylized in this show. So, anyways, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. If you saw Blue Lock season 2, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Be nice overall. You can have a critique, without being a jerk. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.